Hey guys, welcome back to an all new episode of a pro wrestling podcast with Matt and friends. I am your host, Matt Kozakowski, and alongside me today is yours rudely, whatever the fuck that means. Trevor Outlaw. Trevor, what's up, man? What the fuck? What's going on with your head? What's going on with the beard, dude? You look like a complete idiot.
I know I look great. Don't Britney Spears had a thing in 07 when she shaved her head. She still looked beautiful. So don't even start talking on that. But what the fuck am I doing here? You said this is a podcast with you and friends. I'm not your friend.
No, dude. I should just change the name, man. You know, Matt and assholes, I guess, you know.
I mean, hey, if it sells more tickets, if it puts more asses in seats, then go for it. I mean, personally, I think it's still you're gonna come up with a shitty name no matter what you change it to, but you can do your best.
That's fair, man. I mean, Trevor Outlaw is a shitty name too, so I get
it. It's like every time I come on one of these interviews, it's just like right off the bat, everyone's always coming for my throat, and they wonder why I'm such a dick. But go ahead. Your journalism is just fantastic. You're doing a great job.
I think it just has everything to do with the beard and hair change, man. You just look like a complete jackass. So,
I mean, hey, you know what? The beard's a little bit shorter right now, but that was an intentional thing, so I could like timestamp how long it is before I get cleared. Because this shit, like, I was looking at a picture of myself from like September or something like that, Trevtember rather, and it was like down like to my chest. I was like, oh, I could easily get it to there by then, because it grows fast. So we did that, but then the head shave was kind of impromptu. I don't know. It's a new year, boy. Why not?
Yeah, I guess.
I'm still
man.
handsome. I've got like, thankfully I've got like a really, like, whoever's watching the video, I've got a really good shaped head. So,
Hey man, whatever you feel, I get it, Whatever.
Great.
Let's continue to go on with the show. Were you always a fan of pro wrestling, or did you get into it later on in life, or were you just kind of like, fuck it, this is something I'm gonna do?
I liked it from an early age. I don't have like one of those like distinct mark moments as like a little kid where I was like, well, I remember at the No Way Out 1997 in the fourth match of the card that so-and-so wrestled so-and-so. No, I just always was a fan, I was like, wrestling's cool. I was like, if you don't like this shit, then like you're lame, I kind of fell out of it for a little bit when I was in my like early teens. And then I got really back into it in college with a lot of my friends. And I was like, yo, fuck this. Like, I could do this. I could be very successful at this very easily. And lo and behold, that was the truth. So I mean, I guess being a lifelong fan was a good decision to lead me to becoming a wrestler. But I think there's a lot of people that wrestle today that are just like still huge marks. You know what I'm saying? And they don't know, like, I don't know, like, it's a cutthroat business, I think everybody's too worried about being like buddy and, with the fans and like all this nasty, like these big groups. And it's like, everyone wants the other's attention. And, like I ride solo and like, I don't have to have problems with anybody except for like interviewers like you. Like, my biggest concern is an interviewer trying to get over at my expense. There's nobody in the ring that can touch me, so I don't have to worry about that.
Oh, I get it, man. I mean, nobody wants to touch you. That's what it is.
Nobody can. I mean, I'm literally right now being out. I'm the most untouchable man in professional wrestling.
That's fair. Now. That's fair enough, man. How is the recovery going?
It's going pretty well. At this time, we're about 4 weeks recovery, and I'm actually 3 weeks ahead of schedule. So I'm aiming for a September like full comeback from this. But the beauty of my skill set is that I don't have to actually be in the ring to put asses in seats. So you'll see me popping up around in a lot of places over the next several months. I hit it big in some crypto. Everybody buy SHIB because that made me a lot of money. And I might just start paying people to do my dirty work for me. I have a lot of vendettas and I have a lot of grudges to settle. And I think there's opportunities to give to other people right now. I don't think there's anybody that can touch me on a microphone in the Midwest right now, probably like on the indies in general, but I'll be a little modest. And I think a lot of people could benefit for having me with them. So we'll see. Maybe I'll give some other kids the rub, and if they can get the job done, and I'll give them a little bonus in their payday. Otherwise, they can eat shit. But
well, I mean, let's ask this question now. I mean, you're talking about paying people off to do your dirty work and shit. So there was talk about on Twitter between you and TSF about doing a Trevor Outlaw faction. Obviously, that faction would also include your two best friends, Trip Jordy and Brooke Havoc.
Oh no, I hate those two.
Oh no,
I don't know why. Like, I think
you absolutely love them.
I think it's a cute little narrative that everyone tries to spin on Twitter. That like, look at these three, they're friends. I'm not friends with them. They went to wrestling school with me. Brooke never even actually went to school with me when I was there. She was sitting on the bench. So I was kicking ass at my time during the factory, and she was just sitting there. I mean, now we're both kind of sitting there on the shelf, so it's a different story now. But I mean, back then. And then Trip, I don't know, dude. He's just so peppy all the time. Like, when I got to whip his ass in the Young Lions Cup, it was great. Like, just chopping him as hard as I could. Whew. Nothing like beating that kid up. But TSF though, Trevor's super friends. I love those two gentlemen. They're great.
Dude, TSF right here.
All
day.
There you go.
But what about that faction, man? Is it gonna happen?
It's gonna happen. We already said it's gonna happen.
Okay. You don't even have to pay them. I think they just want to do it.
Yeah, I mean, well, they're very wealthy gentlemen as well. They don't need the payday as much as some of the other bums do. But yeah, there's a lot of things. With money comes power. There's a lot of things the three of us could do together. So,
well, speaking of those, here I got a couple questions from them. I don't understand what Tripp was saying when he said, "Is it convenient?" I don't know what the hell that meant. What does that mean?
It means nothing. I fucking hate that kid because that's the thing. He just literally posted, "Is it convenient?" That doesn't mean anything. But he just wasted your time into getting you to ask that because he is a jackass and he thinks stupid things like that are funny. And
okay, so what about his riddle that he said, "A blank is a blank"? Do you have answers to that?
A mark is a mark.
That's fair. That's fair. So Tripp is just wasting my time. That's what it is, huh? Come on, Tripp. I thought we were better than that, man.
He's so stupid, dude. All of you guys think Trip Jordy. Oh my God. Oh, I'm in tears. Hold up. All of you guys think Trip Jordy is a wonderful person just because he's cracked out on Bang Energy and God knows what else all the time. You got played like a fiddle.
That's fair, man. That's fair.
Let me guess. Brooke asked some dumbass question too.
Yeah, she asked two questions too. She asked, what are the three most important letters? I don't know what that means either. And then she asked if... What's that?
Go ahead. No. Go ahead. Finish your other question.
And she asked if you're a fan of her.
Oh, hell no. She's the shit. I stole her like lame ass entrance jacket at the Young Lions Cup, and then she had the audacity to put the Nightmare Factory logo on there as if she was gonna like take the school to some new level and like win the tournament. She would have. Her getting hurt just jumping off the top or the middle rope on her entrance. Like it was too good to be true. And I knew she wasn't gonna advance past the first round. But yeah, man, for the bell to not even ring and her already to be out, that was the icing on my cake for the day. So, and then what was her other question? The three most important letter. The three most important
letters. Yes.
Oh, lime green and black. Yeah.
Those are the three most important letters?
Yeah.
What's that mean?
What do you mean? What does that mean?
Those are letters?
Yeah.
LGB?
No.
I'm so confused now.
Yeah, no, basically she just like botched a promo once and she was trying to talk about like the colors of a promotion, and then she accidentally said the letters. So like, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know why she asked you that. Again, they're just trying to like mess with you guys, and I love it. And I know that they're screwing with y'all, but like
So are
you
they
guys have no
they're the
idea what's
bad
going
guys,
on.
huh? They're the bad
That's what
guys.
I've been telling. Yeah, dude, that's what I've been telling everybody this whole time. Like, we're just now figuring this out.
So you're real. They're just heels, but they play the face.
And everybody says I'm a piece of shit. Look, I know I'm an asshole, but a piece of shit, I am not. Those two, freshest turds in the toilet.
It's a clean toilet, man.
Oh, no, it's not. No, it's not.
Final question from one of them. Rosario asked, why is John your favorite?
Oh, because he gets it. He just gets it. Plus, we're both huge Power Ranger guys, and we're both handsome gentlemen, unlike these like weirdo nerd collectors. We're just two suave gentlemen that have dope Power Ranger fig collections.
What collection do you have? Like the originals or what?
Oh, I've got a lot right now, dude. I've got my hands in like 6 different series. It's too long to list, but there's like, I don't know, there's like 30 something seasons of that shit. I think there's only like 6 that I like really want to collect in full, but maybe a couple of more. But most of the like earlier seasons, they're doing like full line releases.
Those legacy ones?
Yeah.
Gotcha. Yeah, I had a couple of those, but I started with the wrestling collecting too. So it was like I had to choose financially which one was going to be.
Yeah. I
Better
never
for
got
me.
into like wrestling figures and stuff like that. And like I never was like a big collector of anything. Like I don't keep a lot of stuff, you know, I'm not home a lot. I have like some records and like stuff like that, but otherwise, you know, I'm gone. I'm on the road, or I'm at the gym, or doing something besides being at home. But I guess I, I was like, all right, I always like Power Rangers. That was something I always liked as a kid. And the new lines that they've been releasing over the last couple of years have looked good. So I was like, I'll have something, you know, and then at the very least it'll be worth something someday. Flip it and
Yeah,
make a little bit more money if I need to.
they're
But
cool
cool to just have as
collectors.
a, yeah, they're cool little collector's items.
For sure, man. No, I like I said, I had like the dragon flute, stuff like that. Like I had a big collection of them, but I was like, I'm a bigger wrestling fan now. I used to be a Power Ranger fan growing up. Obviously, nothing beats the originals. The originals were fantastic.
Hmm.
Besides the originals, what was your favorite?
In Space was the best by far. I think out of like all of the seasons, I have the most stuff from In Space right now. I just got
Okay,
like a huge 5-pack of like the Psycho Rangers for like way below resale prices are right now, like basically half of what resale prices are right now.
well, that's
Um,
badass.
so I don't remember the toy store that I got it from in Chicago. Like one of my buddies went and got it for me. Um, but yeah, people are trying to flip that thing for like $200 right now. I got it for 80.
People do that shit, man, all the time. Like there's a Dakota Kai figure, Target exclusive. It's an elite, and literally $20 in Target, people are trying to sell it for 100. You know,
That's wild.
I'm like, yeah,
Yeah,
there's no way in hell.
it's weird because like rare shit people sell at reasonable prices, but then like if you go to like local toy stores, sometimes like the private sellers will have common stuff and it's like the prices are way jacked. So it's definitely like it's definitely weird, but most of my collection I have is like I've gotten it from like online because I like just started doing it this year. I've done
Okay.
some stuff at like toy stores, but I want to do like more like actual like toy hunting this year and see if there's a couple like loose ones that I want, you know, and just see what else is out there.
Oh, for sure, man, for sure. Let's get back into a little wrestling here. Being one of the
Ugh,
best. Well,
lame.
I don't want to call you a heel. Obviously, you're real. You're not a
Yeah,
heel.
I don't know why everybody, I mean, I get it. People think that like just because basically like if you don't give a shit about like what these like lame ass fans think of you, you're a terrible person, which like whatever, like I don't know. People treat me like shit, but you don't see me complaining about it on the internet saying like boo hoo, like I can't handle mean things. I just, you know, spit venom back and people don't like it. But yeah, I don't get this connotation of like why I'm such a heel.
I don't know, man.
Everybody's a piece of shit nowadays. I'm just one of those people that it's like I'm willing to accept people saying that I'm an asshole, right? But like you can't tell me that I'm wrong when I speak my logic.
I mean, some of us can, but hey, I mean, that's you, man, for sure.
No.
Nah. All right. But who were some of your favorite heels growing up? Like when you were into wrestling and stuff, younger age, who were some of those heels that you looked up to?
I never really like looked up to like anybody in particular. When I was a little kid, I would say like Owen Hart is by far, looking at it now, is my most like influential wrestler. I mean, I think he just had everything. He was great on the microphone. He was fantastic in the ring. Always had great gear and just really good like basics and a good foundation. And it's very uncommon to see that today because it's like we're supposed to go out there and like we're professional athletes, but like a lot of these people just like want to jump around like fools and try to kill themselves doing stupid shit. By all means, they can go ahead and do it. That's just not my thing. Like the craziest thing to me is like my ACL and meniscus have been torn my entire wrestling career and it's just now becoming a problem that I had to have surgery on. Like I'm a safe athlete. I'm an effective professional wrestler. Like I go in there and I win matches. Look at my track record over. I've been out for a couple of months now, but look at my track record over the last year. Look at all of the names that I beat in such a short period of time before I got hurt. I was on a roll. I'm an undeniable roll.
Well, one thing that's for sure that I will say is pretty sweet about Trevor Outlaw is that belly to belly you hit. I mean,
and I see a lot of people trying to hit it now, and it's funny because it's just it's an amateur wrestling move, a general suplex, but people see how effective my shit is and people steal my moves. I've retired what was or what would be the move that normally puts people down, and I already see people taking it and using it. And by all means, go ahead. I'm not going to be so focused on driving my knees into the mat when I'm hurting, when I'm wrestling, and a lot of old school principles of pro wrestling, those guys that don't really wear knee pads, especially like the Brit style, like you're not supposed to be hitting your knees anyways. So I've got some new stuff. I mean, I'm going to be a completely different wrestler when I come back because I think everybody grows and everybody adapts, and especially through an injury, even if you come back stronger, you're never going to be the same wrestler that you were before you got hurt. Something is going to change. So, I mean, let everybody bite my style. I'm just going to continue to evolve and rinse and repeat. They're going to repeat that cycle. Then they're going to start doing stuff that I did 2 years from now. And then it's going to keep on repeating. I mean, that's how wrestling is. I'm not really surprised.
I mean, it's a sick move when you do it. I will say that I really enjoy it. The quickness, everything like that. It's very, very fluid. So
it's effective. I knock the wind out of people.
Did you, you said something about amateur wrestling. Did you do amateur wrestling?
Yeah, I did. All throughout high school. My senior year, that was actually the first time I tore my ACL. So I somehow afterwards retore it almost 10 years later. So, I mean, it's a different form of wrestling now, but I think I don't know how to say this humbly, but I feel like I'm built different than a lot of people, right? I'm somebody that, yes, I get hurt, but I come back, I adapt, I become stronger. If I lose a wrestling match, which I don't do very often these days, I come back stronger and I have a better game plan going forward. I think my ability to learn and grow and adapt and just keep getting better and better every single day, that really gives me an edge on virtually everybody in wrestling, because everybody likes to do a lot of the same shit over and over. I mean, kind of going back to what I was talking about before, people stay in the same patterns, but I continue to change. I continue to grow.
That's all we could ask for with pro wrestling, man, is to develop. Now, Freelance Wrestling Academy, Freelance Wrestling. I see the poster behind you. That's where you originally trained from, though, right?
Yeah, I guess you could say that's my home promotion. I really should probably take that down.
Yeah, because they've screwed you over quite a bit, huh?
Yeah, I actually got kicked out of the academy because they didn't like that I was getting into fights with people. Head trainers, Isaiah and Kylie Ray, I got in fights with them all the time. And that was initially what got me to go out to Georgia and go to the Nightmare Factory. I was looking for somewhere new to train. I thoroughly believe that no matter how experienced you are, you still need to train. You still need to put in the work. I'm not one of those wrestlers that's going to post pictures of me in the gym and post my workouts and post me training and working on things, because why the hell would I give anybody an edge up on what I'm doing? I let people see what I want them to see, and they pay attention and they listen. So that's all that really matters.
Oh, for sure. How did the opportunity from the Nightmare Factory come about for you? Like, what was your experience like getting into there?
What do you mean?
Like,
Elaborate on that.
so I've heard other people tell their stories about like where they were when they got that phone call saying, we want to bring you in to the Nightmare Factory, how the whole experience
Uh-huh.
was. How did that happen for you?
I mean, yeah, I wasn't surprised. Like I sent in an application to one of the camps, and they looked at my stuff, and it was a no-brainer that I was a good fit. And surely, and my camp was definitely different than all of the others. I think we had the most amount of experienced wrestlers going into that camp already, and even the guys that hadn't wrestled before that, like they picked it up really quickly. Um, but to finish at like the top of that class, and it was, I mean, as to be expected, on my end, I obviously have a little bit of a bitter feeling about how my departure from there was by losing to Kid Bandit in his first match. The God damn it, I underestimated the kid, but I mean, all in all, I still was a top dog there. I think after that loss, you look at the wins that I had afterwards, over Danhausen and then Effie and then Kylie Ray, like back to back to back. I really bounced back. So I guess that loss did me pretty good in a sense, but the camp was a good experience overall. It was hard, you either shit or get off the pot, and those are the types of environments that I thrive in. So
Oh, for sure. Now a question I was going to ask you about that match with Kid Bandit, when he had you on the shoulders and he flipped you over into that backbreaker type move. Was there any part of you that was like, oh shit, this is going to be rough because of the height difference between the two of you?
yeah, I mean, obviously, if it was like a bigger dude doing it to me, it would have done a lot more damage to my neck. I mean, I still kind of have like a little bit of a stinger from it. Um, I mean, the kid's reckless. He has no regard for his own safety. He has no regard for the safety of others. But everybody loves him. And by all means, I mean, I think wrestling fans are stupid. All the people that they're saying are their heroes turn out to be pieces of shit. And then you look at guys like me who are real from the start, and I have no controversial opinions. I'm a pretty straight and narrow kind of guy, and everybody said that I deserve to get hurt, and they're throwing toilet paper at me and throwing tampons at me, and it's just absurd.
Well, they maybe probably thought you can use it.
I mean, yeah, I still have toilet paper. That's free
Yeah.
toilet paper. They're stupid as shit. We're still in the middle of a pandemic, even if we're on the tail end or whatever. You're still throwing away toilet paper. You know how much that shit costs in Chicago? It ain't cheap. And most of those idiots bought 2-ply. I was like, hell yeah.
Hey, it works for you,
Yeah. Thanks for the
Um,
free ass paper, you bozos.
Well, we will say this. I mean, there is a company that you've wrestled for that the fans don't seem to hate you as much there, which is Warrior Wrestling. I seen you live there once, and the fans actually seem to get behind you a little bit there. What's it like working for Warrior Wrestling?
It's an interesting experience because there's so much talent from all over the world at every show. And there's some guys that come back, some girls that come back, but there's a lot of new faces every time, but it's still a lot of high caliber professional wrestlers each time. And for a lot of newer guys and younger guys, like, you'll see a lot of guys that are making names for themselves in their cities and towns and, respective regions that they're wrestling in. And then you come in and, you work your way up there, so even being on like those pre-shows, they're still doing like, 3 matches beforehand. So getting on those, like, that's a stepping stone, because as soon as you get up onto those main shows, like you're guaranteed you're going to be wrestling somebody that has more experience than you, or is on TV, or is wrestled on TV somewhere.
For sure.
And that's how you make a name for yourself. I've made a name for myself in enough places to get myself to the dance at a lot of really good promotions that coming back, I'm going to hit the ground running. And I think Warrior Wrestling is one of those places. Frank the Clown and I work very close together, and Frank's at the top of the food chain there.
Yeah.
So
I mean, he's doing his thing, man. I mean, very entertaining guy. I mean, he's killing it.
He's the freelance world champion, baby.
He's doing a great job, man. And you first got associated with him, at least to my knowledge, from Zelo Pro. Is that where you guys first clicked? Where you got your spawn from?
We'd been talking for a little bit before that. The Eddie Cannon incident heard around the world. He saw how I handled it and reacted to it. It blew up on social media, and I didn't run like a dog with my tail between my legs. I said, like, yeah, like that shit sucks. Anybody getting hit in the balls is going to be funny, and I'm not going to exclude myself from that. And he saw that, and he saw that I saw dollar signs in that. And we got to talking. We had, a lot of differences beforehand, but now, Frank the Clown is one of my best friends. We see eye to eye. And I think Frank knows, and he trusts in my ability as a professional wrestler, and he knows what I bring to the table as a megastar. And him to have a little bit more influence than I do to help get me, he helps me get my foot in the door in a lot of places. And Frank has a lot of connections because everybody wants Frank the Clown. So, it literally, quite literally was, if you look at my run at Freelance, it was literally Trevor Outlaw and Frank the Clown weren't getting out of bed for anything besides main events or championship opportunities.
Oh, that's fair.
And
man.
that's how it's going to be when I come back.
Hit the ball running, man. You talk about his connections and stuff like that, and we all know Frank the Clown's association with the Foley family. Now, have you ever had an interaction with Mick? Has he ever given you any advice, or has he ever talked to you about anything?
Yeah, Mick's a very nice man. I respect everything that he's done in the professional wrestling business. But I mean, outside of that, I also respect him as a businessman and an entrepreneur. When I first started at Freelance, we were connected to pro wrestling tees. So he would come through there a lot, and he'd be doing signings, meet and greets, and things like that. So I got to meet him a couple of times through that. And then the last time I met him, I was helping him promote his most recent tour, and he gave me and one of the other wrestlers tickets to go. So I went to one of his shows, and I ended up talking to him for a little while. He definitely gave me some very sound advice, and it's advice that I will not share, because quite frankly, I think advice from people like that is invaluable. And you have to work your way up to have conversations with people like that. I mean, he'll have a conversation with anybody, but I think, as an aspiring wrestler, or as a wrestler, no matter what else your status is, like, you really should, not everything needs to be exposed, Oh,
for sure. I mean, has he critiqued any of your matches? If he's watched any of your stuff?
I know he watches the stuff that I do with Frank, and he talks to Frank about like his stuff, but it was just kind of like a situational thing. Like, I got to meet him a couple of times, I don't like, hey, Mr. Foley, like on the regular or anything like that. I don't know him to that extent, but
for sure, man.
No,
I get it. I was always curious about that, because I know, Frank's association with Mick, I was always curious, because I know you have a great association with Frank. So
yeah, I mean, like I said, I'm on good terms with a lot of people, but when you're at the end of the day, everybody is still people. But you the people that have put in their time, you respect that. If they want to talk about stuff, then that's okay. But like, give them their rest from. I think too many people. I think it's great to pick the brains of people, but a lot of these kids go to these wrestlers with like marks, and like turn into like, oh, just give me an autograph or something, and it's a shame, because I feel like more people would want to learn from these wrestlers otherwise. But no, he's a good guy. He's a good guy.
Oh no, for sure. I've always been a fan. I always think he's a fantastic performer in everything he's done. So
yeah.
Now we were talking about Warrior
Great
Wrestling.
author too. He's written a lot of books too. His books are really good.
I have not really read any of them, to be honest with you, but I'm getting to that point where I think I should start picking them up.
Yeah, you don't sound like someone who's very literate or knows how to read a book. So I would definitely recommend you start reading books.
I'm on like that second grade challenge level where I only could read big print.
Yikes, that's a problem.
It is a problem, man. I'm trying to get to that third grade level, but I don't even know where to start,
Ugh. Try like the Berenstain Bears or something like that. That might help you out.
I'm trying, man. I just watch kids shows instead, Barney and Magic School Bus, all that shit. So
you got to start watching Power Rangers again, bro. That's a little bit higher level.
Maybe I will, man. Trevor Outlaw tells me to watch Power Rangers. I definitely might have to take that in consideration.
There you go.
Now, going back to Warrior Wrestling, you were talking about how you see different matchups all the time, stuff like that, where younger talent are going against more experienced talent, stuff like that. The show I was at had you in a match on a pre-show. Sadly, I think you should have been on the main card. You're absolutely fantastic performer. But we've seen matches where a guy like Jason Hotch, who a lot of people did not know, wrestled Evil Uno. And this was the match. This is the show that I was at. Dude performed insanely well. I think a lot of people talked about him very highly. Do you know who Jason Hotch is? Have you ever communicated with him at all?
I mean, I know who he is. Like I know who's who in professional wrestling, but the thing is Trevor Outlaw doesn't worry about what other people in professional wrestling are doing. Professional wrestling worries about what I'm doing.
Oh, for sure. I was just curious as to if you watched that match and you've seen, like types of matches like that where you see the younger go against the more experienced.
Yeah, that's a common thing. I think that's a common thing we're seeing in wrestling nowadays, and you kind of need it because it's about time that like people start building new talent, and not even like building new talent up, just give other newer guys opportunities. Like all these old heads, like, look, if you're a good wrestler, like awesome. Like I've wrestled some guys that have 20 plus years of experience in the business and are absolutely amazing. And then I've wrestled some guys that are like big names that haven't been around as long that are also like equally as amazing. But you can't wrestle forever, So I think, there's enough room on the card to let other people shine. I'm somebody that I knew I was a star from my first match. And once I started getting actual opportunities, people would see how good I am. And I was right.
No, for sure. For sure. I mean, you talk about wrestling legends and stuff who've been around the block. We know you've been in the ring with Cole Cabana. You mentioned it a little bit ago. Danhausen, you've been in the ring with him. You wrestled Eric Cannon.
Twice.
How was that experience? Eric Cannon, I think, is one of those legends that are very underrated. Does not get the recognition I think he truly deserves. What was that experience to wrestle a guy like him?
One of the first guys that I actually was a little bit nervous about before I wrestled. I don't get like starstruck or anything like that by people. But that was, I mean, he's been wrestling for, a majority of years that I've been alive. So, I mean, no matter how much he's got left in the tank, the amount that guy knows. And I learned that the first time we wrestled. The second time I had a lot better of a showing against him. I was actually supposed to wrestle him last month for Second Wrestling's debut show. But, having to have surgery kind of changed that. And that was actually one match. I had a lot of really big matches coming up that I was happy about and looking forward to because, it's just people that I was going to just jump over. But the one that had a little bit more of a personal vendetta to it was that Cannon match. So when I think he's going to be at the top of my hit list for sure.
As soon as you come back?
Oh, absolutely.
You
Absolutely.
think that match is going to happen by the end of the year when you come back, or do you think it'll be more of a 2023 match?
Um, I right now my focus is just healing up and getting back. Um, I know who is in mind, but that's still a little bit of ways. My pecking order, I should say. A lot changes in 6 to 7 months. I don't know who's going to be hurt. I don't know who's going to cry and quit the business. I don't know what's going to happen. I know I'm going to be here
Yeah,
plotting
no,
and
I
counting
know.
down the days.
I know 2020 Rude is your year, so
And that's the
we'll
thing. 2021 was a year for me, was a killer year. And I did so much in what maybe I did a year's worth of like big moments in a quarter of the year, maybe a third of the year. If I have that same amount of time left for this year when I come back, I can do the same, if not bigger.
no, for sure, man. And
Trev
I think,
Timber, Trev Timber 2020 route is going to be big this year.
oh, for sure, dude. I expect big things in that short amount of time that you're going to be back for the rest of the year.
As you should. Look at you. You're finally learning a little bit. Hey,
A little bit,
couple
dude.
IQ points to you there.
I'm
We're
trying to
sitting at about
graduate that
8
second
now.
grade level, so
Still got some work to do, but you're definitely making progress. Congratulations.
we'll see how that works out, man. I think I might get dumber as time goes by. So
God, I hope not. I didn't think you could get any dumber than you already are, but you're just keep at it,
I'm doing my best, man, to be stupid. I get it. Now you're a Chicago-based wrestler, AAW promotion in Chicago. Have you ever wrestled for AAW?
Yeah, I have. I've been I wrestled for them two matches in a weekend. I was actually supposed to wrestle for them in December as well, but the injury changed otherwise. We'll see what happens when I get back. I mean, that's definitely a place that I'm still going to be going to the shows while I'm out. I'm not going to be just sitting on my ass at home. This first month, you kind of have to because you're not very mobile. But now that I've got the green light to start doing more, everywhere, just because I can't wrestle, that doesn't mean there's some way that I can't take over that show. And I think AAW is going to be a place you continue to see me grow. Freelance is going to be a place you continue to see me grow. Black Label Pro, Warrior, all of them. So,
have you been to Black Label Pro? Because I've never read anything about you being there, so I was curious.
yeah,
I'm not.
I had fortunately had a very short showing against Josh Bishop, but it's on the record books and it counts, and I still got paid, so it counts. But I will be at their shows this year, whether they allow me to or not. So they don't know it yet, but I will be a part of their show.
I try to go to a lot of their shows lately because I didn't know they were so close to where I'm from. So it's literally 10 minutes away from me. I think it's one of the best promotions in general. I think it's a fantastic promotion. Very, very fun experience to be there. So I'll have to definitely check that out when you come back. Danhausen's a match you talked about a little bit earlier too. In the match that I watched, you paid him some money. How much did you pay him?
I gave him $1. I swore. I told him to kiss my ass, and I gave him $1. He's dumb as shit. He doesn't care. He's making so much money right now. But if that moron knew how to count, he would have so much more.
Is he on that second grade level too?
No, he's definitely way more intelligent than you are.
That's fair. So fourth grade, probably.
I would say even higher than that. He's definitely more than just a few years ahead of you.
Okay, so
you're really far behind. Like you're basically at the stages of human evolution. That little chart that goes from like fish to like people. I think you're like the first one that comes out of the water where it's like you're still mostly fish, but like you're kind of person, but like you're still not figured out that yet. The lights, there's electrical in place, but like ain't nobody got bulbs up there yet.
Dude, I can't even spell my name, so I get it.
There you go.
My show's actually called Matt and Friends. I don't even have friends around. It's a stupid show.
I knew something was fishy about this interview from the start. I knew it.
Yeah. It's pretty bad, man. Maybe you should just cancel the whole thing altogether.
Yeah, I mean, you can drop this one to get a good rating. This will be the best rating you ever get. But I mean, hey, not a bad way to go out.
I think I might do one more show just to kind of go on a better note.
Good luck.
That's
can't
fair.
go out on a better note than going out on my note.
I think my ratings are going to plummet after this one for sure. Now, if you could have, do you have any dream matches that you've ever thought like, hey, this is what I want to do. This is who I want to wrestle. Is there anybody in specific that you would want to wrestle when you come back?
No.
Just anybody?
No. Yeah, anybody. I believe I'm meant to be the biggest star in professional wrestling, and anybody that would like to get in my way, or anybody that I think is getting more attention than I believe that they deserve, I will come for their heads. So, like I said, a lot changes in a few months. The wrestling business changes, all the time. So I think it's going to be a different conversation when I come back if I say who I'm going for now. I definitely have some unfinished scores to settle, but in terms of like dream matches or new names, we'll cross that bridge when we come to it.
You think we're going to ever get that rematch between you and Kid Bandit?
Oh yeah, that'll happen. I don't know though. I mean, that kid's probably going to kill himself in the ring before I get back. So if he does, then hey, cool. But I got a score to settle with Effie actually. Him and I are 1-1 against each other, and I don't like that. Somebody's got to be on top.
So Effie would be one of your return matches that you would want right off.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay.
We can put that one on there because Effie's fine. Effie will be fine. Everybody else, it's a liability. It's a gamble to say if they will be, but if I were a betting man, I would bet that Effie will be fine, and Effie is fine.
Who won the first match? Who won the second?
He beat me the first time. I beat him when it matters, and I beat him during his big GCW weekend. So I believe I was the only. He wrestled on every single show that was hosted that weekend, and I was the only person to beat him.
So Trevor Outlaw versus Effie, match number 3. Trevor Outlaw's coming out on top.
Mm-hmm. It's got to be at Logan Square Auditorium, though. That one has to be under the everything's been under the Freelance banner, but there's little asterisks to it. We did the first one was at the Galley Lucha Arena, and the second one was that for that big GCW show weekend. Like, I want it like at home, like my home building, like Logan Square Auditorium in the main event where I belong. The only place that I wrestle in Logan Square Auditorium is main events. That's where it's got to be.
So Logan Square, Trevor Outlaw versus Effie, match number 3. We'll make it happen.
Yep.
Definitely have to make that happen.
Mm-hmm. That's money right there. That's money. That's money just waiting to be filled up on the table.
Oh, for sure, man. I mean, Effie's a cool performer. I think he's a good performer. Obviously, he's not as talented as Trevor Outlaw.
You know what? If there's somebody I can tip my hat to, and if there's somebody that I've got to give credit where credit's due, it's probably Effie. Effie's probably the one wrestler that has. If I had respect to give to anybody, he would have it. But I still don't respect him. I dislike him the least.
That's fair. I'm probably at the top of your list where you hate now, so that's cool.
Yeah, you're definitely one of the top worst interviewers I've ever dealt with. So I mean, congratulations. I'll do an award for that at the end of the year. So I mean, you're not gonna get it nice. It'll probably be on a crumpled up piece of paper. I'll probably spit a loogie on it too. So
all right, cool. That's what's up, man. I really appreciate that. Final
like I said,
question.
I'm real.
Oh yeah, for sure. Final question for you though. 2020 Rude is supposed to be your year. Not being able to return until September. What is one of the biggest accomplishments?
Trev Timber.
My
Say
bad.
it right.
Sorry.
Say it again. Start your
Okay.
question over.
2020 Rude
month name.
not coming back until Trev Timber. Is that right? I get that right?
Go on.
Okay. What is the biggest accomplishment you want to achieve for the rest of the year?
The Freelance Championship. I'm taking that belt and I'm going to fucking ruin that company. I'm going to run it into the ground and change it into my image. Freelance Wrestling is going to be mine.
So you're going to ruin it like they ruined you?
Absolutely.
Well, we'll like to see that not happen because Freelance is better off without Trevor Outlaw.
No, it's not though, because here's the thing. Both of the main events that I wrestled in sold out house. That's a fact. So
was it all by your family?
No.
Oh,
I don't have actually very much of a family. I just kind of do things on my own. You know, my mom and sister are all right, but everybody else can kind of get fucked. But yeah, no, sold out house, brother. That's what I do. You know, you can try to undermine me, but hey, the facts are there. So
hey,
I'm taking that title and I'm going to take that company over and rebuild it in my own image. Because
we'll definitely see that.
I hope it. I mean, thank God for Frank the Clown while I'm out that he can hold the fort down. I mean, I feel bad for him. I mean, you know, that's a lot of weight to put on his shoulders, but they'll be fine.
Well, we'll see what happens. We'll definitely see what happens. Anyway, Trevor, this has been probably the worst interview I've ever done.
Yeah, are we done yet? You're wasting my fucking time.
Yeah, I mean, you might as well just tell the fans where they could find you at on social media and then get off my show.
Fuck off. That's your job. You can do it. I'll talk to you later, bozo. That's enough of my time.
Whatever, guys. Don't follow Trevor Outlaw. Trevor sucks. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. It was a lot of fun for me, I guess.
Eat shit.
I guess that's what I'm doing. But yeah, guys, until next time, this has been a pro wrestling podcast with Matt and friends. Whatever.